yeah, you know me now. After a couple minutes, I always need a plan. And I really need to start this on like a white paper
Mhm.
because I realized, yeah, I watched a lot of videos. I saw all the tragedies and the drama of this race with the heat, with people suffering, like
Yep.
metaphorically going through hell, which is also very hot, right?
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, it is morning.
Yeah, we don't normally do these in the morning, but there's a good reason why we are today. We just wanted to bring your attention to one of our races, one of our newer races, Fiddle 50. Norm's sporting the buff from last year. If you want to try an ultra marathon, if you've never done one before, or if you're training for, let's say, a 100-miler, or if you want to do a relay, this is the race for you. And the reason is because it's on a closed 1 kilometer loop. It's fine pea gravel, so easy surface to run on. The slightest amount of elevation. I barely call it a bump. I think it's...
Well, it's a bump in the beginning, but when you're doing a 100-miler, the bump becomes a mountain.
Yeah, but it's tiny. So what we're saying is, it's the perfect intro to ultras. It's the perfect spot to go and train for your 100-miler or your 100K because you don't have to carry anything. It's 1K.
No handheld, no problem.
That's right.
Because you'll get back to the start finish in a matter
Less
of...
than 10 minutes.
Yeah, less than 10 minutes.
And we'll be there cheering you on. We have a great bunch of volunteers. We have the Town Fitness 10K this year. We added a shorter distance.
And we're trying to get fiddlers.
Yes, so check it out. gottarunracing.com, Fiddle 50.
Yeah, see you there.
Now, the reason that we're doing this in the morning
what's happening?
is because our guest lives in Europe. Germany, in fact.
Who is it?
His name is Janosch Kowalczyk. He's 32, Adidas athlete who placed third at Black Canyon last weekend.
This is our third and final podcast of what happened at Black Canyon.
That's right. We're excited that we've been able to chat with 3 runners from...
Who all podiumed
and earned a ticket
yeah,
at Western.
Yeah, why not?
So let's talk a little bit about Janosch. He won Mozart 100K in 2022, a race that we both know. He won Ultra Trail Mount Fuji in 2019, and he won Ultra Trail Cape Town in 2018.
And a bunch. If you check him out, he's done quite a bunch of races and
international
races. Yeah.
And he seems to like vert.
So can't wait to hear about that and more.
All right, and here's Janosch coming up. So congratulations on your incredible performance at Black Canyon last weekend. But before we dig into that, we kind of like to go back to the beginning. So first of all, are you from Stuttgart originally?
Yes, close by, a small city close by, maybe 15 miles.
Oh, okay. Okay.
How and when did you even start running to make this your profession?
Yeah, I started as a kid and I used to play soccer like everyone in Germany, I guess, every little boy. I mean, it was like car boys, soccer boys, and then I did parallel athletics and soccer for a little time. Stopped both when I started studying and then came back, and at one point I want to run a marathon. So when I did athletics, the club was more focused on what is it, like decathlon or the technical disciplines.
Right.
So we warmed up and I did like the strides and the drills and everything, but there was not really a running group. And then with like 13, 14, I did probably stupid things. I not even wrote a diary or something. So, I decided maybe 6 times 400. And after 5, I was tired and stopped, or, it was just, and then I restarted running when I set this goal to run a marathon in 2012 when I was at the university. And then the next year, at this time I studied maybe that's 60K, like 35 miles from home.
Mm.
And I used to ride my bike home, my road bike. And then I had a little accident, nothing happened, but the bike was broken. And then I signed up for an ultra race 8 weeks later, and I won the race. It was a local one, but I still won. And then I was completely fixed with the sport because it was just a dumb idea, and I won, and I felt like, wow, this is something I'm really good at again, because I stopped sports a couple of years ago, and then I found back to running. Yeah.
So did you actually run the marathon, or did you go right to the 60K?
Yeah. No, I ran the marathon in Hamburg. It's a spring marathon in Germany, and I ran 2:48,
Nice.
which in kilometers is exactly 4.00, so 4 minutes per K. And it was perfect. Yeah, I started slow, like this is not my tactics in ultra running too, and then passed so many people, and it was so much fun. Maybe I could have run a little bit faster, but this 4 minute just seemed so. It's a like an comfortable time to calculate while in running stress. So I always calculate like 5K 20 minutes, 10K 40, 15K 60. Yeah, it's super easy. Just
Easy
multiply the
math.
K times 4. And that way I always stick to the 4 minutes.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
And we use metric in Canada as well. And
Oh yeah, true.
We're always joking with our American friends how much easier it is to calculate everything. So get on the program.
Yeah, it's true. 10K, if you run 3:30, 35.
Wow. When did you run your first ultra run again? And what was it?
2012.
And what race was that?
Oh, it was in the Black Forest, and it was a 2-day race.
Oh.
So the first day was 56K, and the second day was like 25K, and there was like what is that then, 80 something K award too. And on the first day I won, but I started crying before I reached the finish line because I was so overwhelmed. Why on earth am I leading now? Or I have to start earlier. I told you, the bike got broken. I was a student, so no money. I hitchhiked to this start of the race in the little village in the Black Forest. Beautiful scenery. And there was free overnight sleeping in like the gym of the town where the little kids play inside sports. So I brought my air mattress and sleeping bag and hitchhiked there, slept there, told everyone who slept there in the evening, like community of trail runners, first time being in the community, very cool people, and told everyone, oh, this is my first time. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? Should I eat a lot? Should I start slow? And after the race, everyone was like, you asshole. You didn't No, I didn't know. I swear. And this is 56K and maybe like 5K to go. I started crying during the race because I didn't know what to do, and it was very hard. I really suffered. And it was like in between, my emotions were just so mixed up. I was suffering. I had no energy left to like hold back the feelings because I spent all in my legs, right? And then it got even worse. I called my mom and I started crying. Mom, I won. But I have to run tomorrow again. And I didn't know it's possible, or I had no idea of the whole scene, that people run a whole week in the desert or whatever. I just thought, wow, I just did a race and now I have to run again. How? And I have to hold them back, obviously. It was very, very crazy. Yeah.
And everyone now knew you the next day. They know.
Watch this
exactly.
Guy.
Yeah. And I lost the second stage, but overall I won because of my gap, in the longer stage. But then
hilarious.
they knew, and yeah.
Good story. Black Canyon, take us through the day. We'll break it down into thirds. So in the beginning, when you're at the start line and everyone takes off like it's a 5K race, were you just trying to stay with somebody, like maybe Tom Evans, you probably know?
Your teammate, yeah.
Were you just, what were you thinking when, my God, this is a 5K race?
Yes, it's absolutely true. Yeah. And that's how I started. Yeah. I kind of started talking to some people the first case, but always kept a little bit behind. I lost like the leading group after 1 or 2K. And then, but the leading group, there were like 15 people.
Yeah.
It was like, and I thought about it for a moment. Maybe I should close the gap and run in the pack, but yeah, it's just with 95K to go, there's no point closing the gap. I will
No.
see them soon.
No, exactly. And you know that you can easily burn your quads in that first,
Yes.
20 miles, 32K for sure, which I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people do. They get caught up in it and they can't help themselves,
No.
or if they love running downhill, they're
Yeah.
going to use that to their advantage, but
Yeah.
who knows where that puts them in the next third. So what position were you in at the 50K, which was Soap Creek? Where were you? Do you know where you were?
I think I was in the top 10 already
Okay.
because I entered Black Canyon City 60K then around 6, 7, 8 or something. I
Okay.
was running with Stephen Kirsch and David Laney
Mm-hmm.
in Black Canyon City, and I think 10K earlier I was already following Stephen for a couple miles. And yes, during this time, I mean, the first hour was quite, just fast, and I was shocked how fast they start, and you have to find kind of your rhythm and your position. And during this time, I already realized this is going really well, because after like 10K, maybe I was really like warmed up, and my energy system, like providing my body with enough energy, was running on smooth kind of.
Mhm.
And I felt like between hour 1 and in the end 6, 7, I didn't felt any difference. So
Oh.
Wow.
yeah, for
That's
me,
great.
kilometer 10, 20, 30, 70 was all the same.
Wow. And it wasn't
this
too
is-
hot, so you weren't really
No.
dealing with any sort of extra heat.
I mean, it got hot, yes, but I was, I think, maybe even the only guy in the top 20 who started to wear a backpack early,
Mm.
and I put ice in my backpack.
Ah.
So there was no mandatory equipment, but I wear my running vest full of ice
Mm-hmm.
Good
Smart.
idea.
from like 10 a.m.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you have any pacers or
No,
no?
No.
Yeah.
no. Yeah, that's also, we don't have paces in Europe. And I thought a pacer is fine if it gets like dangerous in alpine terrain or
Mm.
Night
or maybe in
section.
the night, for
Yeah.
example, a night
Yeah.
section, yeah. But I thought if there's a pacer and he doesn't have a bib and he runs in front of me, why should I catch him? It's just like someone hiking there and I pass him, or is. But of course, you can motivate and help yourself. But I feel like this sometimes happened to me, and it's a very thin line when
Mm.
people say, because I'm like background of engineering, right? And people say, "Oh, you're looking good," and I feel like shit. I'm like, shut up! That's not true. And on the other side, if the words are slightly different, and they say your last kilometer was, I don't know, fine. And I check the watch and I say, oh, I want to run 5-minute pace, and this was 5:02.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true, a true statement. So my rational mind, is just slightly different motivational like quotes that can completely support my thinking, or they
Yes.
can like make me angry because no, that's not true. That's an untrue statement. And then I get, yes, you know what I mean? It's like,
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yes.
feel good and I have pain. I say, no, shut up. And they say 5-minute pace is good. And that's my plan. I say, yeah, true. Thank you. It's good to remind me. So it's very difficult to motivate me in this situation, I think. But then I kind of completely switched my mindset, and in Black Canyon City in the aid station, I started pushing, and I lost Stephen and David there, and just ran out of, and then I started the run to the finish.
So you knew you had it. You knew you had that
Yeah.
golden ticket going to the finish.
Yeah, before the finish, I knew, but I still had to pass 2 people. I think I was 5th or 6th, so 2 or 3 I had to pass, but I saw them maybe at 5K later after the aid station in Black Canyon City.
Yeah.
and then I started to really race. So my engine was still running smooth, and I started to like when they passed the cactus, stop the time or look at my watch, see, oh, that's 40 seconds, and then pass the next cactus, and this has a lot of cactus. It's
Yeah.
38, it's 36, and then I catch them, and until Table Mesa, I was still in very good condition with my energy. And then, yeah, the last 10, 20K, of course, were hard. Yeah. I made up some time on Tom Evans, for example, but the last 20K, I couldn't. I think it was 2 or 3 minutes in Table Mesa and the same at the finish. So I already also felt it then. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was a hard race.
That's amazing.
Did you know the winner before you went into the race? Did you ever hear about Anthony Constales?
No. Yeah, it's crazy fast guy.
Yeah,
we chatted with him on Thursday, so we just released that episode today. But,
yes.
What an epic race overall. It was fun to watch, certainly fun to watch. But now Western is coming up.
Yes.
What's the plan, Janosch?
Oh, the plan. You know me now. After a couple minutes, I always need a plan, and I really need to start this on like a white paper, because I realized, I watched a lot of videos. I saw all the tragedies and the drama of this race, with the heat, with people suffering, like metaphorically going through hell, which is also very hot, right?
Yes.
So, but I realized, you don't know the facts, the details, the emotionless stuff, the rational stuff that I usually know, because I know this drama and the storytelling in a video, but I don't know the names of the aid stations. I didn't know which part is technical, which is not, I didn't know. I think someone told me it's not possible with one car and one crew to go to all of the aid stations. There's some where you need to like have someone else helping you out or something like this. So now I really need to make a good plan so that I can kill the doubts before the race and be confident. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So after Western States, what do you think your sight's going in the future? What would be a good race for you after Western?
For the year or the next couple of years?
In life, like what do you really want to take on bucket list races?
I think Western States is already pretty high on this list because of the rolling part and the heat, which I really like. And I really think that I might be quite good at Western States. So if I am top 10, I just go back every year.
Good.
And
why not?
Yeah, I think that's really one of the highest. Also, I tried UTMB and did not finish. That's a little bit of one of my concerns, kind of, because on Mount Fuji, I also couldn't finish. They stopped the race a little bit after me because there was snowfall and everything. But still, I did the DNF before, so the first runners I could have finished, kind of. And then I DNF'd Mount UTMB and TDS last year. So every time it goes above 17 hours, I could always make it to 17, just to be clear. And every time it's longer, I struggled in my 3 of 3 tries so far. But I will just finish under 17 hours, and then I don't get in the zone.
Why not? What about Canada? Have you ever checked out any races in Canada?
I know the Canadian Death Race from my research, but not a lot more. No. Sadly not.
Well, who do you look forward to of competing against now that you probably know the field is getting stacked? I know you're looking.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. I think I will. 100 miles. Since I just told you my 100-mile story, I want to finish strong, and this will mean I will run very conservative in the beginning, I think, and then will be very dangerous in the second half if I can stick to my plan.
Yeah. People don't start racing until Forest Hill. That's
what mile is that?
60 mile.
Ah, that's the Black Canyon City of Western
Yeah.
States.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good advice.
When you get to Forest Hill, that's when you put the hammer down.
And
All
it's a
right.
party at Forest Hill. Everyone's out.
Oh,
They
cool.
line the streets. There's people set up everywhere, and it's fun because it's a flat section in between the climbs.
The canyons,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's fun. Forest Hill's fun.
Well, we did Mozart back in 2019.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Perfect.
That was one of my ticket races to get to Western. I used it to get into Western.
Yes. Cool.
But now it's turned over to a UTMB series. But it wasn't
Yes.
when we did it. I'm just if you would notice
yeah.
the difference between it now, because you did it last year, to when we did it. If you know the UTMB, have they added something? Have they different experience because they took over?
More competitive.
Like,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know really what the race was before, or whether something changed. I think the courses is quite the same. When I raced Mozart, it was so hot with 32 degrees, and it was a real cruel race for me and I really went hard in the end because it was so hot. And after like 80K at the Lake Fuschel again, I was third, and then I passed the second, and I could already see the first.
Mhm.
So in like a running time of 30 to 60 seconds, they were the top three in 80K into the race.
Wow.
And it was very hot. And at this moment, I thought, please, God, don't make them follow me. Because if we now go with three people, and it's a very rolling terrain in the end, there's a lot of parts are even on the street pavement.
Yes. Those stairs?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Those are mean in the end. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But at this moment, I thought it's a very, very hot day, and we're about to run a half marathon, kind of, with pre-gaming 80K. So on completely empty energy and dehydrated, and we run a half marathon against each other. Someone will end up in the hospital, because that's what was my thought in that moment. If I just pass you, and it's obviously that I'm stronger right now, then it's okay, and there will be a gap. But if they fight back, and we, like in a road race, where you get head to head, if this happens, I thought in this moment, oh, I'm screwed. And I passed them very fast, so they don't think so. But that's also something you do, because usually, right, in ultra running, you run your own race, and you can't really, or it's the line is very thin, because 20% in an ultra is not 20% in a 10K. It's only 2K, so you see the finish line mostly. Yeah, that was strange.
Well, it was hot when we did Mozart. It was a heat wave.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I was dying. I even had an ice cream cone.
He stopped in one of the towns
for an ice cream cone.
That's so cool.
Because I was so hot. Yes. Me and some Polish runner.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
He bought it for you.
He goes, "You want an ice cream cone?" I go, "Yes, I need an ice cream cone."
What kind of flavor?
I actually had strawberry, which I never get strawberry. I just felt the word strawberry
fruity,
was more refreshing than chocolate.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, we wish you all the best for Western States. We'll be following along the entire weekend. And hopefully we'll get to see you at a race in Canada one day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I've been there once. In Quebec and Toronto, and with my family.
Okay.
I was like 12 or something.
Oh, very nice. Well, you'll have to come back and let us know when you do. We'll come and crew for you.
Yeah, we'll crew.
Cool, perfect.
Sure. I'd love to run with you for at least half a K.
Yes. Yeah, thank you guys. It's been really funny. It's been really cool.
All right, all the best. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.
That was Janosch Kowalczyk from Stuttgart, Germany.
Wow.
What a funny guy.
Funny guy. And I love how he
smart
is constantly structuring his races and training and still keeping splits.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, he's known about Western for a long time, and good for him. It didn't really take him that long to get a golden ticket to the big show. I love chatting with international runners because they have a different perspective, I think.
Yep. And when they come over to North America, they don't know who is the top dogs.
Yeah. Although nowadays you can pretty much find out anything online, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's interesting to see what shakes out when you get a bunch of extremely talented runners at a lineup. And which Western is going to be that?
Oh, I know. Everybody's getting their tickets now there. It's going to be a very stacked field. But he feels that's confident. He does well in the heat. He loves the rolling mountains. And he feels that, he can get for top 10.
Yeah, well, let's wish him well.
All right. Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Cheers.